Howdy Tamers, and welcome to LostinTranslationmon's 9th Beat Break coverage episode. This time we will be covering rather, yes, I should probably start writing down what I need to say in the intro because that is the 9th time in a row that I've botched that. But yes, we'll be covering...
Keep the streak alive. Let's get the 10th one scuffed as well. Let's go.
I'm just going to keep it flub forever. Anyway, so yes, we'll be covering Digimon BeatBreak episode 9, Utopia. I am Kobias, and of course, I'm once again joined by Guz.
And I spoiled my own entrance. Hello.
Yes, if anyone's watching this on the YouTubes, the existence of your PNG tuber is also spoiling the entrance, I suppose, in a way.
I mean, I have asked Kobe in the past if we had any money in the budget for like an entrance theme like WWE, and I was told that was not in the budget.
No, I will forever use Miyako's Digital World war cry until the day that I die as an intro for the podcast, and that is just forever.
Yeah, no, look, it's fair. I just, would love to just like, and here's Guz Cena, it'd be hilarious, but obviously not in the budget. Sorry, there,
for now. Anyway, yeah. So a quick synopsis before we jump into this, and yes, I do need a haircut. I can barely see. There's a lot of hair going on there. Anyway, so this time, we have Glowing Dawn infiltrate the Shangri-La egg to grab the bounty on 3 golden Numamon. However, a girl from Makoto's past, Haruko, who got kicked out of the egg because her father committed fraud, are also there basically wanting the same bounty. Haruko's partner Digimon is Shademon, and Glowing Dawn get lured into a trap as the bad guys decide that they want Chirrupmon. Shademon possesses Chirrupmon, and Chirrupmon actually unlocks a new attack, Condensed Echo, and then we are sad because you have to wait another week to watch the conclusion to this story, and I was like, no, I can't do this.
Yep.
I can't do this. But we
got another cliffhanger too.
Yeah, and really hope that it pays off. So with that out of the way,
I think it's gonna pay off. I think it's gonna have a payoff.
Please, oh my gosh. So discussions and decisions. What are our highlights this week?
I was right about the poop. Can I get that?
You were right about the poop. And I was right about, like, Makoto having some rich or noble background. So we find out that he was actually born in the egg. And everyone kind of knows his family name. So while Haruko was kicked out because of her father committing fraud, he actually was kicked out because we learn that if you... I don't know why they word it like this, but if you give birth to a Digimon... You get kicked out of the egg.
I think that's Mikado's, 8-year-old brain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's like, I created life from my egg.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I mean, it is like giving birth, but, I was like, huh. We were literally just talking about how Zeus gave birth to Athena, and I'm just like, the whole time I was thinking about the whole Zeus getting empreg because he had a migraine, which is, that shouldn't be a mood, but it kind of is. Sometimes it feels like I'm about to give birth to the goddess of wisdom. But anyway, that was the side tangent.
And battles.
And battles.
And battles.
Oh, and battles. And also hanging out with mortals because she loves them so much, apparently.
Well, I mean, that's really more of an asterisk. She's kinder, but not the kindest.
Yeah, but, okay, she loves Odysseus, and... I guess Achilles, but mainly Odysseus and Telemachus, I guess. Oh my, we are tangenting in form.
This ain't a we. This ain't a we.
I am tangenting. I'm tangenting. Anyway, so yeah, so that's pretty cool that Makoto has this kind of rich background. I mean, it was kind of obvious because he's kind of dressed nicely, and he seems to be the anime trope of comes from nobility or rich parents or something. He kind of fits that trope.
He's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Pretty clever too. So the good upbringing kind of thing as well is just bouncing around there in the back. We're not breaking waters or treading new territory at all with any of these characters.
Apparently,
as far as tropes are concerned.
Well, Makoto's water was broken because apparently he gave birth to Chirapon.
Look, if you can do that as a man, that's impressive.
Yeah. Hey, one day I hope to do that as a man.
Good luck.
I'll try my best.
You're gonna need it.
The horrifying, and it hopefully won't be a Chirapon. Actually, I'm trying to work out.
I'd be worried about them teeth. Oh
yeah, another highlight. Chirapon's teeth. When he gets possessed and he kind of goes like for one second,
Tokomon.
I thought we were gonna get a dark evolution from Chirapon.
No.
And I would have loved that. Like, I don't know, like a surprise, like, haha, you thought it was going to be Gekomon, because it's always like if someone gets a dark evolution in the anime, it is typically the goggle kid. But if it was just like, nope, it's actually the little baby kid that gets the dark evolution. Like, I was kind of hoping for that, like, because everyone's expecting Gekomon to, but if it wasn't Gekomon, it would someone else, that'd be a nice like twist. But yeah, so the teeth are kind of horrifying on Chirapon, like, kind of
the more horrifying thing was that child just being like, I'm gonna steal part of your soul by forcefully placing in some of mine.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy. Also, the girl in general was kind of creepy, but also kind of a mood when she's just like sitting there, like eating
at the fridge.
At someone else's fridge. Like, that's not her. She's like possessed the owners of the house to break in and eat like the KFC from the fridge, and she's just sitting there like depressed and like scoffing KFC, and I was like, oh, same, baby girl. Like, do you ever just like it? For me, it's usually cheese. I'll just be sitting there going, I'm sad, better eat more cheese, and we'll worry. That's future Kobias' problem, to deal with the huge onslaught of lactose that I'm putting in my body because it's too spicy for my tummy. But yeah.
Because you're too white, you're allergic to dairy.
Sometimes it's just like, I'll eat chili oil with like a spoon, because I really like chili oil.
That's... okay.
Yeah,
that's a choice.
Sometimes I do it like, because I sleepwalk, so sometimes I'll like do it like, and I'll wake up and I'm just eating like chili oil with like a teaspoon, and I'm standing at the fridge like, this is...
it's so nice it burns twice.
Yeah, like, I love chili oil. It's also infused with Stardust whiskey, so I'm just like, it tastes really good. I love chili oil so much. But yeah, so that was really relatable. Her just like, she's sad because she's like, this is my mirror reflection. This like, basically a shadow thing that acts like a puppy, and like, I hated the way she like swatted it away when it just wanted head pats. Like, that kind of broke my heart, because it was like, that is just a dog but in shadow form.
I mean, it's the first time for me seeing Shademon in action. So I thought it was actually really kind of cool that like this really, really evil, or at least from what I had seen of it, being an evil Digimon through the TCG first. Like possessing Wendigomon in like the BT5 art of Shademon, and a handful of other things of that nature. I thought it was all really, really cool just to have this like really outwardly evil Digimon running around and possessing stuff, which I think is kind of what happens in Cross Wars. I don't know, you can correct me there.
I honestly can't I don't think it was memorable, because I've watched Cross Wars multiple times and I can't remember what Shademon does in it. I'm pretty sure that it was more in the manga, because the manga had a slightly different story, but I've only read through it once, so I can't really remember what happens. I know that, I mean, I'm fairly certain that it possesses Nene in the manga. I can't remember if that actually happens in the anime or not. However, I do often, and this is like a fake Digimon fan moment, but I continually get Shademon and Eismon confused, because they're just the same guy.
True.
It's just like shadow with eyes. So like, I'm like, I can't remember. I know that Eismon scatter mode was in the adventure reboot, but I can't remember if it was Shademon or Eismon in a really creepy episode of Ghost Game where it like kind of grew eyes on the body, and like they were like picking the eyes out of the skin. I think it was Eismon.
Wow.
but honestly, I can't, like, they are the same guy.
If I was to judge it off the power set that we saw in this episode, I'd probably be more willing to say that seems like more of an Eismon thing. But Shademon having, that sort of puppy energy in this one was kind of interesting. I never really expected that, but also like to activate his like signature ability is just screams, kill me. It's just like there's a lot going on here, man.
That also had me like same. Like I also when I go to attack someone, I say kill me.
There was so much millennial energy in this one episode.
Yeah. Like sitting in front of a fridge, being depressed, eating KFC, and just shouting at my enemies, kill me. Very relatable content.
Yeah, but like I think like seeing Shademon sort of act more like a 2D sort of Digimon and like all the eyes appearing on the bodies and stuff, it did give me a lot of the from, as we spoke about before, Hellsing Ultimate, like the dog with the eyes and all
absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Like I would dare say that someone who designed that may have seen Hellsing, like to the point where it's very much like the graphics of it, like it just looks very similar to that.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like how so many seasons of Digimon or so many aspects of Digimon just seem to be one-for-one references to Evangelion, and that has happened in the majority of seasons, where you can just grab a screenshot from Digimon and then a screenshot from Evangelion and just go, that is 100% a reference. Like, or they have something that just looks like an Evangelion, like the ultimate weapon in, I think that's what it's called in Time Stranger. I haven't finished it yet, but the thing that shows up in the start, I'm just like, every time I see it, I'm like, that's an Evangelion.
I haven't seen Evangelion at all, but I know a giant mech when I see one.
Yeah, it's just a giant mech. Yeah.
Have big robot do big robot. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's one of the Reapers from Mass Effect.
That too, yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, same guy. It's like a Shademon Eismon deal.
Yeah. He's just getting more work now that BioWare stopped using the Reapers. But anyway.
But any other highlights?
I mean, it was really nice just to see an evil character be evil for the sake of being evil. Like, this dude was just like, oh, I just want what you had from birth. I just want to be the guy that has all of the things. I'm still really not sold on the idea of Utopia at all. I do like the little Easter egg that we get of the tragedy that occurred some years ago. Dun, 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 and then eggs. Or did the eggs come first? I don't know, right? There's a funny little joke there.
Yeah,
sure.
the chicken or the egg, that was funny.
The tragedy or the egg.
The tragedy of the egg, yeah. Yeah, I was really like off put by like the feeling of like the Utopia, and even like you think the people on the outside will think, oh yeah, the Shangri-La egg is where you want to go, that's the perfect existence, and then when you're in the egg, everyone's just like, oh, I have to obey everything my Sabatama says so I can go to like the high-end block. So it's not like there are like levels above just going to the Shangri-La egg. You still have to work, you still have to obey your Sabatama and do everything that it tells you to do. And quite in a robotic nature, we see like someone get an alert that they have patients waiting on them for surgery, and then they just sort of stand up and walk. It's very like robotic, very automatic. It's unsettling, and the whole experience of being in the Shangri-La egg was just everything was so like uncomfortable. The trailers that are playing like advertisements for the Shangri-La egg,
propaganda,
the propaganda, but also it's like it gives like graphic design is my passion energy because of the font that they use. It's just like the stock standard like cursive font in Microsoft Word or something. Like it's very much.
If it was Comic Sans, I would have been able to read it first.
It should. It would even be better if it was Comic Sans, like Shangri-La.
Yeah.
Like it's very. That was kind of like, adds that unsettling feeling. The other thing that I noticed was the coloration, the color scheme kind of changed when you're in the Shangri-La egg. Like everything's sort of bright, kind of has that like it has like, I don't know, a glossy film to everything that you see. It's kind of like when in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul they have any shots that are in Mexico, everything has like that yellow tint over it. It gave me that vibe. Like, oh, we know that they're different because it's very like dark and grungy outside, and here it's like uh artificially brighter and
Yellowed.
yeah, it is yellowed, and it's like it adds sort of adds to that like unsettling that they've got like artificial lighting or something that's not quite right, not natural. It's not like the natural brightness of the sun or any other natural lighting. It feels very like very fake, and I just feel like this episode did a really good job of giving you this unsettling feeling of this is utopia, but you know, making it a really uncomfortable. No one acts normal there, and if you give birth to a Digimon, you get kicked out or something.
Well, that's Mikado says if you choose to keep it. Like if you're like, oh, that happened, excellent. If you choose to keep it, and obviously, there must have been something that he needed in Chiropon that he decided to keep it. So he's probably missing friends or something like that up at the high end block.
Yeah.
And so he went, no, Chiropon's my friend. I'm going to be with my friend. And they're like, cool, you're exiled, piss off. Whereas it did say, I think, to some extent, whereas like if you give up the Digimon, then it's like, cool, you can remain because you're no longer acting as a deviant to the system.
Yeah.
You're continuing to just allow yourself to be subjugated by the chains of oppression within the egg.
Yes, which is very creepy. Something else that I appreciated from this episode was, again, back to the propaganda video with the unfortunately not Comic Sans font, was the fact that they give you the exposition, they give you like the crumbs of info dump in the like when it's playing. So it's not just the characters saying, oh yeah, from the disaster. They actually use the propaganda video instead of having characters talk about it when it's a fact that the characters already know, because that's something that a lot of media does when they want to inform the viewer of something that all the characters already know and probably have no reason to talk about. They're actually giving like a reason for us to learn about it without just having characters just randomly say, hey, remember that thing that happened that we were all there for?
It's like we all know about COVID. No one keeps bringing it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So it's like if you wanted to have something about COVID, you don't just have people just say, hey, remember COVID? You would have like maybe someone watching a documentary on it, and that's how that would happen. It would give the same sort of effect of, well, we don't need to have the characters talk about it because we can have a commercial.
We were on the exposition bus with the rest of those kids going in for the excursion.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh, it's our first time in the egg. What can we expect? Here's what you can expect. And Mikado just sitting there very awkwardly listening to the whole thing because he already knows.
Yeah.
But, like, we actually get that introduction. It becomes a twofer for the exposition. The one part is we get it as the audience.
Yeah.
The second part is it's there for the other characters, the background characters, to make that entire environment feel more well-rounded. And I do think it was really funny how, like, when they get off the bus, it's like, if you only have a 1 day pass, you can only go to the shopping district. If you go anywhere else, you will be punished.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what the?
Yeah, so I feel like that was a really effective way of storytelling because it felt genuine, it felt authentic in the way that they were giving us information. And
it explains the reason they have propaganda in the first place. Like you're brainwashing these kids. They're like, why does everybody want to go to the egg? Then you send them to the egg for the day, and they're like, oh my god, that was amazing. I want to go there again.
Yeah,
because I can't ever go back there. And it's the carrot.
The amount of knowledge that the characters have of what's actually going on in the egg seems very limited because we have Tomoro and Reina surprised that people still have to work and they still have to like listen to their Sabotama. So they then are like, hey, we didn't know that. So we as an audience go, oh, we didn't know that, but you know, the characters didn't know that. That's weird.
We did not know that.
Yeah. And then we have the, you know, someone from the Shangri-La egg going, oh yeah, well, everyone wants to be in the high-end block. So then we learn about that, and we learn that the characters didn't even know about that. So we actually got a lot more information in this episode, but it didn't feel like we were just getting, like, even though we were getting, like, a pretty big info dump, it felt like it was like, very natural in the progression of giving us the information, and it felt, again, authentic to what the characters know and what they don't know and how they find it out. So I felt like we got a good amount of information, and it didn't feel like them just jamming lore down our throats.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I found to be particularly funny was when Mikado and Chirapmon are in the elevator, and he's just like, present your Sapatama. Puts him down on the receiver. It's like, this is not a Sapatama.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's a Furby.
Wait for the gecko.
Yeah, that was my favorite part. It's like they can still sit in Sapatama receivers because they kind of are-ish. Yeah. And they can still just sort of override and access it like a digital creature would.
Yeah.
So, like, again, we're sort of like expanding on what Digimon can and cannot interact with within the physical realm, which I think is really fun. But, like, we get the Shaki flashbacks while they're doing this Ocean's 11 montage, right? About breaking into the egg, which is hilarious. Where it's like, our security's the tightest it's ever been. And he's like just rewriting two janitors' data to be two just random children. Yeah, and they just walk up and the dude's like, present your set pajamas, and they're like, we lost him. It's like, both of you? What the hell? That's crazy. Without actually just sitting there and going, you can't come to work without your Sapatama. They're just like, let me scan your face. Oh yeah, must be good. Everything else is fine. You checked out in the system. Get on in there. Yeah, smack them on the ass and send them on their way, kind of thing. That's so suspicious. Really funny.
Because, like, in this world, everyone always has a Sapatama and they obey it, like, religiously. And I'm honestly surprised, like, to the point that I'm in this universe, I'm surprised that it's not, like, illegal to not have your Sapatama.
Yeah, I was even about to be like, oh, maybe it's new, but it's like, well, Toma and all that had it when they were kids, you know, and like, well, if we're gonna sit there and say that, let's say they had it about like 3 or 4 years of age, right?
Yeah.
Kindergarten-ish kind of time where Toma doesn't like his broccoli and stuff, and now he's, let's say, around 17 to 18 kind of spot, maybe a little,
yeah,
like so even like there,
10,
right? Like
you've had it for 10 years, probably.
That's not recent. Do you know what I mean? Like people still would be like, well, you need this in order to gain entry. This is the place in the country. You need that. If you don't have it, you can't go. It's kind of our equivalent to just having ID. Like if you don't have that, you're just not allowed into certain areas. And I don't think that even after 10 years, there wouldn't have already been attempts to break into the egg and that they wouldn't have done something with security on that measure. But the fact that it worked is just hilarious to me. Because it's a kid show, you got to have some plot convenience. Let's just send it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like that's the only, like, I guess, kind of thing I was like, that's kind
logic
of weird.
Flaw.
Yeah, it feels like a logic flaw. Like, I mean, I guess they got around it by like, oh, I'll just scan your face. Okay, all good. And they do that with basically all of Glowing Dawn. They're like, oh, face scan. Okay. And I guess that's how they wrote around it. But it's the only thing I felt was weird that, like, why were they not surprised that, like, why they seem to not care that people didn't have the Sapatama?
I don't know. But, I mean, we've got to get him in there somehow, so, yeah, sometimes you just got to accept some plot contrivances.
Yeah, but otherwise,
I mean, it doesn't ruin the episode for me. No, I'm not, like, sitting there dying on this hill, like, they should never have been in, blah! I'm like, that's just funny. Because, like, there's so many, like, this is rated PG, right? So this is effectively a kid show here in Australia. So it's like, how many kid shows do you know that are that are structurally sound in their plot? It's like, no, just friendship and laser beams. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like they wrote around it fine. Like, oh, they just have a face scanner. Like, I feel like that's the only, like, slight, like, logic flaw. But even then, that's like a huge nitpick. Like, as in, like, huge nitpick as in it's a very, very minor, tiny detail that, like, I don't even particularly care about. But I just, like, I noticed it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but
it's lazy but funny.
I can suspend my disbelief in the show about the people who give birth to their smartphones monster. Like, I can suspend my disbelief a little bit that maybe the logic was just weird for that guy. Maybe everyone else is saying, hey, why would you not have a Sapatama? Maybe that guy is just like, I'm just here to scan faces, literally don't care. Like,
bro, the paycheck ain't that big. I do not care.
Yeah.
This is a Tuesday, bro. What do you want from me?
Like, the face scan thing works, so whatever. But
sorry, he's going to be fired off screen. It's going to be fine.
Oh yeah, like he was then taken off screen to behind the shed and shot.
Yeah, his egg was scrambled.
His eggs were scrambled. That sounds so wrong.
I'm never not going to say that for this series.
Yeah.
As you probably have noticed, I've been able to get it into every episode.
I've noticed. I'm here. I've been present. I exist.
Oh God, I hope so.
Yeah.
One of us has to be.
I'm just gonna mentally peace out. It's fine. But any other highlights?
I liked a little bit of lore around Goldenumamon being able to eat metals. I actually think, considering how many turds, as Gecko once put it, were thrown, I actually kind of would have liked to have seen like some little bite marks out of some of the metal structures in that immediate area.
Yeah.
Because my God, he had the runs. I don't know, maybe just like a little bit of that environmental damage would have been cool, but like it's also the egg, so maybe not.
Yeah. It probably
I do think it was kind of funny. We did get the Numamon appearance. I think we're always guaranteed at least one of those in a series.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, it is nice that it is not just stock standard Numamon. It is a different like variant of Numamon. That's pretty cool. We don't often see that in the anime. Usually, if we have a Numamon, it's just going to be the Numamon. So that's kind of nice. Like I don't think we've really seen the rest of the Numamons animated in the anime as much. They've definitely been in the video games as like grinding.
Oh yeah.
But not so much in the anime. So that is a nice kind of thing to see. Hey, I know we always pull out the Numamon to be gross and throw poo, but here is the gold one who makes stinky ones, like really stinky ones.
Yeah, he has the Midas touch.
Yeah.
But for the butt.
Midas.
Ooh, got him.
I made a joke. Yay.
I did say that. Thank you.
But any other highlights?
I mean, I really liked the way that shading was worked on a lot of the different characters, particularly the two evil characters. Hirako, I think it was.
Haruko? I wrote down Haruko.
Haruko, yeah. Haruko and Haruko Senior, the dad.
Yeah.
Just the intensity of their eyes, the lack of empathy, you know. The dad just like leg sweeping, elbow locking Mikado and being like, I'm just gonna end this child's life. You are 8, I am 47. This is over.
Yeah, when he just tackles him. Yeah, it was like he has. Why does he have beef with an 8-year-old? Like he's just like.
It's bro, like, you have privilege or privilege than what I had privilege. And he's like, bro, I'm here for the snacks.
But why was it necessary to crash tackle him? Like, he probably weighs like 40 kilograms. You could just hold him like this. You didn't have to,
full body pin him.
Yeah, you didn't have to pin the guy.
You're gonna die.
Like, just, why do you have random beef? Like, why?
Yeah, I liked all the shade work for their, descent into madness and stuff like that, and
greed. Like, it's a descent into madness because of greed and envy, and I really felt like that was effective.
I would definitely say more envy than greed. Like, they need the money to get the thing, which is obviously just MacGuffin'ically criminal history. We've seen it in media before, so I'm not going to be surprised when they reveal that that's what that is for the Chirotmon payment exchange thing. So, like, I'm not really holding my breath on that. If it's a key that automatically gets them into the high-end block, then it's kind of the same thing, mechanically speaking.
It is just plot MacGuffin. Like, there's an item that is plot
gonna
MacGuffin.
do the thing.
Yeah, it's gonna do a thing.
But I think what's really funny is the dad's like, oh, well, Digimon are tools. And his daughter has a Digimon, and so by proxy, she is also a tool. Because they're all a tool for his ends to be in the high-end block. So, really, there's just a lot of things that he is saying in that regard. on many different levels that I think his own daughter hasn't really caught on to, and she's like, yeah, Digimon are tools. It's like, sweetie, who controls the Digimon? You. Who has the real power in this dynamic? You. You could actually have Shademon take over your dad and then have Shademon actually take care of you. Which is what Shademon kind of wants to do. So there's like all this very deep layering that if you sort of pull on any thread, it can lead you down any one number of different paths. I won't theorize about all of them now.
I feel like that's probably what's going to happen next episode, is that she'll have like she'll face turn, and she will just like, she'll help them out. Like, she'll feel bad about like what she's doing and realize that her dad's kind of a bad person and got her kicked out of the Shangri-La egg anyway. And
I don't think so. And there's only one reason why I'm saying that. It's because all the Digimon she doesn't want near her. She says they're all curses. She hates all of them, right?
Yeah.
The Gold Numamon has to maintain its distance from her. Shademon has to maintain its distance from her. But we get two instances, one in the actual episode and one in the sort of flash forward preview, where she is cradling Chiropmon.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a bit of a difference with the Chiropmon. I think it's mainly because of the pain that it can inflict on someone else by being close to her. But maybe that's not given up as easily as we think, which is why I reckon that the next episode is going to be a bit better than maybe the Pandamon cliffhanger.
Hopefully. Something else that I'd noticed was the fact that when the dad is talking about Chiropmon, he's like, oh yeah, it's a bat with it's got analyzing abilities, and they immediately say, oh, it's a Chiropmon. So that sort of implies that there's more than just the one Chiropmon. It's not just one special Digimon. Like in other seasons, like the partner Digimon are kind of, you only really see one of that specific one. You might see baby forms, but you don't really see other Digimon of the partner Digimon just sort of walking around. They're kind of seen as unique, and it's not really spoken about if others do exist. There's only just, there's the baby ones, but not so much of the whole other evolution line. So that's kind of an interesting thing that we're like, it's not one off.
I think if they do appear, we also get the color swap ones, right?
Yeah. We've got the color variants, which is sort of seen as a different Digimon. Sometimes they've got different names. So that's a different thing, but I just found it like, I don't know, it just was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I guess I was kind of the belief that these partner Digimon are always unique, but I guess it's not the case. There are other Chiropmons. We're probably not going to see like a horde of Chiropmons, but
that would be sick.
That'd be sick. Imagine all the paralyzed Echo we could have.
That would be one hell of an Echo.
That'd be the biggest Echo.
Yeah, but I mean, like, also, like, that then raises an interesting question to me, right?
Yeah.
If these Digimon are not inherently unique, which is awesome, I kind of like that. Like, I don't like the chosen one angle for anything these days, because it's a very well-worn path, and we also know that those characters are already inherently safe because they're main characters. I don't need them to be chosen for anything. But what makes it really interesting is that it means these Sapotamas are glitching probably in an escalating value. Like, we're getting more and more and more. And it's not just because we've picked up the story from here. I think inherently there is something going wrong with more Sapotamas over time. I don't think the government's going to be able to keep the kibosh on this for as long as they think they can.
Yeah.
So there will be a breaking point in the breaking dawn, or whatever. Wait, that's Twilight.
That's what I was saying. That's Twilight. This is Glowing Dawn. Different
I have
guy.
no idea. I have no idea how that entered my psyche at all. Stephanie Meyer, please respond. What the hell? Basically, I think what's going to be kind of interesting is if there's like a global catastrophe where all the Sapotamas then just mad spawn out a bunch of Digimon, because you cannot be aware of another Chiropmon unless someone else has made a Chiropmon. Then that means that there's more than just a handful of these instances, which means the government just can't keep gaslighting everyone, even though they have near perfect control of all the citizenry. It's kind of still going to raise a question mark because you're going to get more people like, oh my god, I've forgotten the name. The chick that got scrambled. She's also starts with H, doesn't she?
Hitomi?
When the first Hitomi, thank you. Oh my god.
The chick who got scrambled. Okay.
She did. She got scrambled. She got scrambled
and
frozen.
You've heard of the girl who leapt through time. Get ready for the chick who got scrambled. Wow.
It's the Australian parody. But, oh, yo, you look like that chick that got scrambled. But yeah, no, like, she shows obviously signs of like, no, I didn't dream that. You know, no, I know something had happened to me. I was bitten by a freaking purple hyena. What do you mean, right?
I think I'd remember that if that happened. Like,
look, I think most people would remember that. That's like a core memory from Inside Out, if anything. But like, yeah, basically, there's going to be more of these people being like, hey man, what's going on? Who knows? Maybe she ends up becoming the leader of the Digimon have been attacking us the whole time kind of movement from her high school that then gains a bit of traction or something, which could lead to a melting point with mass hatching in the attempt to overthrow the Shangri-La egg. I'm getting wild with the theorizing here, but like...
Also, we are 36 minutes in and we're just up to highlights.
I know, but like, you know, maybe... This is what's great about this episode, right? Because every line of dialogue in this has a double meaning because it's supposed to. Yeah. Right? It's all talking about Shangri-La. It's talking about where they are. It's talking about where they've come from and where they want to go. And it also brings in the past tragedy. And it brings in that issue of if there's multiple of these things occurring, then what does that mean for everything else at large? And I think like I think 2 watches of this once you've gotten the surface level of all that dialogue to then go back through, or even like in 10 episodes time, something like that, there's going to be something that's going to recontextualize everything that happened specifically here, which is just going to have a really, really cool payoff.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think you are right. Like,
we should
something subtle, like in terms of foreshadowing that this episode did, but we will find out when we find out.
And we should definitely move on. You're absolutely right. Yeah, 36 minutes to the first point.
Yeah, I do have one more thing. Like, this episode did also make me think, like, and I really like this aspect that the partner Digimon are like mirror reflections of the human. I got me thinking, like, I'm trying to work out what would be like mine that perfectly like works with my personality, and I could not think of one Digimon, and I was like, oh. But it's a really interesting aspect of that.
I mean, it's also that Digimon's personality as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they complement
each other. A particular personality trait of yours.
Particular.
Yeah, no, I messed up. It's okay.
No, I just thought that was. I just think that's a great like word. I don't know why. Particular. It just sort of tickles my fancy. Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Well, I'll leave that for your partner, but whatever tickles your fancy. But look, I will say that it comes down to that particular character trait, right? So you'd have to find something of yours that is very in the essence of Kobe, and then just escalate that up to its max, and then try to closely put that onto a rookie level Digimon to see where you'd fit.
Yeah. I don't know. What's a Digimon that doesn't shut up?
I can only think of a Pokemon. It's called Chatot, and it's really funny.
Oh yeah, the birdie.
Yeah, the bird that back in Gen 4 was the only one that you could actually get to say slurs. Because you could, when you taught it chatter, this is my tangent. I'm taking this one. Back you could teach it a new cry with the move chatter, and there were people who found out the way that the game actually spliced up the audio to make the sounds.
Yeah.
So if you said words wrong but in the right order, they would actually come out and just say slurs.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy behavior.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gen 5, you couldn't trade Gigas, I think his name is, the coffin ghost. You couldn't trade that on the GTS because it had FAG in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Coffegregious.
Yeah, Coffegregious, yeah. But in terms of your like, because you like, you can be kind of like a bit of a chaotic like energy person. I don't know why.
I think I'd like Impmon.
I was literally about to say Impmon. Yeah. Like, I've got Impmon, like, hanging out behind me, and I was like, immediately when I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, Guz's would definitely be like Impmon, because he's got, like, that chaotic energy. So I'm glad that you said Impmon, because that was exactly where my brain went for you, because it's like, you've got that, like, fun, chaotic kind of energy, and yeah, I feel like...
I love the English dub where it goes, bada boom! Like, that to me... I want to be able to use that more in real life, but the thing is that I'm in my 30s, and that is hella cringe.
Oh, but
there's only so much I can do now.
To be cringe is to be free.
To be cringe is to be free, but I don't think I can pull off oversized red gloves.
No,
like there's a limit. There is a limit.
did I ever tell you the most cringe thing that that the teachers would genuinely concerned about until they asked me why I was doing it? And this is really cringe. I was like a very cringy 16-year-old. I really loved
so this is a high school Kobe that we're talking about.
Yeah, I really liked Haruhi Suzumiya, like the anime. I learned the dance off by heart. I could do it. It very, very cringy. Did a bunch of like flash mobs of it at like Manifest and like different anime conventions. So peak cringe. In the anime, she has like an armband, a red armband with like...
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you can immediately see why teachers were concerned. And actually, I think I might have been younger than 15. I was 16. I think I might have been 14, 15, because I don't think we'd like studied World War II in depth yet. But yeah, don't armbands like that.
Terrible. Chat, we hit the rut-row raggy
portion of, so
this conversation.
Looking back on it, I was like, I at the time, completely innocent, I was like, I'm going to make this armband. I think it's really cool. I love this anime. I can wear it to school, like over my school uniform, just like in my Japanese animes. But it gave off the wrong message. Because I was also blonde at the time. And I have blue eyes, and not a good look for
in case anybody's not watching this, Kobe is also white.
I'm also incredibly I'm like the whitest white of, like, I'm like, I should be like the poster child for sunscreen.
Stop moving for a second.
Yeah.
Stop moving. Anybody who's watching this on video, have a look at where Kobe's forearm is now melting into their white shelf.
Oh, yeah.
It's indistinguishable. Kobe has fused.
Yeah, if I use like when I'm in like Teams or Zoom calls, and I use like the background like remover things, so I have to like be careful not to like wear anything where my skin's exposed, because I'll just merge into the background sometimes. So that's how white I am. Anyway, that was the tangent. Yeah, so I have no idea what
the good news though is that if we ever get lost at sea, you just get a torch on Kobe's forearm that acts as a warning beacon.
Yeah, it would probably work very well. But back.
That's the scary part.
Back on topic. I have no idea who my mirror reflection would be, but I know that yours would be Impmon. But yeah, I have no idea who mine would be.
No, I think we'd have to probably sit down and really go through an exhaustive list to sort of vibe check everything.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a Patreon only exclusive. We like tier listed or something. I don't know, but
yeah, that could be fun.
We'll bookmark that in the future.
But anyway, 44 minutes in, lowlights.
I think there was a couple of weird animation
with
bits
with the girl,
old man.
Oh, and yeah,
the old man in the park. Like when he got up and moved around, like I think some of the line work just did not translate with his wrinkles and his movement very well.
Yes, same with like some of while the shading we mentioned was pretty good for like Haruko.
Those scenes.
Yeah, I felt like sometimes it made her look a little bit weird. Like it made her face look kind of like distorted and like weirdly proportioned. But I
liked that though.
Oh yeah, it definitely added to the unsettling feeling, but it just kind of like made me a little bit uncomfortable. But again, probably the intent. But otherwise, I don't have that many things that I didn't like.
I mean, if anything, we could just probably just say the whole security conversation that we had previously as far as the logic flaws concerned.
Just copy and paste
that. But like, it's pretty minor if we're being honest. I don't think there was really too much here that was trash. However, there were turds.
I do have a potential low light, is that if the next episode like doesn't have a good payoff, it's going to be like probably the worst episode in the season.
I don't know. I felt more emotionally attached to the Pandemon stuff. So if this one doesn't have the good swing back, I'm not going to be as devastated. But the Pandemon stuff with, pardon me, specifically Toma and Gekomon, because they had felt so outcasted, to then be so deeply connected. With Mikado, it's just sort of like, oh, rich boy problems. Like, I'm not a rich boy. I don't empathize at all. I don't care. So I was already thinking halfway through the episode, I'm like, well, if Mikado ends up getting Chirrupmon back and like whatever, it's just sort of like, that's probably what's going to happen. Or if Chirrupmon has to then digivolve with Mikado's E-Pulse instead of the evil chicks, cool, great, whatever. Don't care. Like, to me, it's, even if it fails, it's not going to be as emotionally resonant as what the Pandemon episode could have been.
True.
So for me, it's just sort of like, it's a win-win because I don't care enough. If that makes sense.
But I hope, and the next episode does hit it out of the ballpark. But I'm kind of like, oh, part 2, I want it now. But
that's how cliffhangers work, baby.
Yeah, but I mean, at least I care. Favorite character, mine was Makoto. I just thought he was really cool in this. I was excited that it is kind of like an episode where we get to learn a little bit about him, which is kind of what we wanted, because we felt like we knew about the other characters, but Makoto's kind of like a question mark. But I'm glad they sort of started to fill that in, and presumably we'll probably get more of that next week.
Funnily enough, mine's Chirrupmon.
Yeah, I've had a feeling, because I was like, well, I was going to choose Chirrupmon, and I was like, I feel like it's a toss-up that one of us is, like, will either both choose the same, or it will be, like, the other one, like...
Gekomon.
Yeah, like with Gekomon. But I was like, I was so close to choosing Chirrupmon, but I'm like, I feel like I'm probably going to choose Chirrupmon next episode.
Yeah, I mean... to be fair, I also really like Haruko, Evil Little Girl.
Oh yeah. I like Shademon.
She is so very, very well filled in as a character, right? Like, we have her origin-ish. We've got everything she stands for. We have so much implied character development from her. If you want a real nice villain showcase to know exactly where someone stands, bang, watch this. Like, she's done a very, very good job. And even if she's aware she's being used by her father, she's just like, well, I really don't care because I get to hurt people. And that's a summation on my part, really. So we haven't had anything to confirm that. But it is really, really very tactfully done to show that. But I like the idea of Chirrupmon sitting in the Sapatama reader and just being a Furby. I thought that was awesome. I really like Chirrupmon actually making a stance where Mikado's been historically a little too scared or hesitant to do so. Where Chirrupmon's like, no, I'm going to go find these Golden Numamon. I'm going to prove that I can do things, that I am worthy being on the team, that I can protect you, because obviously Shademon and the girl just rocked Chirrupmon and Mikado's confidence a lot. So like there was a lot there that was really, really fun to explore. So I would say Chirrupmon just because I'm warmer to him. But like, I think next episode I'm probably gonna go with Villain Girl, because we got the red light from her hand, which I think is the first red light.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That we've seen. So we've got the element fire, if we're tracking this correctly, via colors. And maybe that's stronger than the yellow light, right? Which is light to some effect.
Yellow light, more like YOLO light.
Well, no. But maybe those elemental colors, because obviously they've got things they're strong and weak against around, like the whole thing. Maybe that allows her to overwrite the egg more, but we're going to get some evil Chirrupmon shenaniganery. Maybe not just paralyzing echoes anymore. I mean,
condensing echoes, yeah.
I'm not sure if it was a new attack, though, because when he was charging and sweeping and dodging, it didn't look like he was doing a Paralyze Echo. He did have a little ball of energy in the mouth.
Yeah.
It just might be the first time we've seen him use it. It may not have been because she gave him her repulse. Don't know. But we're going to finally get some exploration around these characters, so I'm really just hopeful for more of that. This is why I choose Cheer Up Mon, because I'm like, yeah, that's really cool. But Evil Chick is a real close second, just because I love a villain.
Oh yeah, and again, pretty well rounded considering we just met her and we get like all this information about her. She seems like she's struggling to accept that her mirror reflection is Shademon, and she's kind of sad about it. Hence the depression, KFC eating by the fridge. But yeah, like mood. But yeah, so absolutely valid there. Rating out of 5, I gave this a 4.5. Again, I really liked the tactful info dumping of not just having the characters talk loudly with the exposition, but actually have like an in-universe way of explaining it to us as they're explaining it in their propaganda commercial sort of thing. So yeah, I really like this episode. So yeah, 4.5 from me. What about you, Guz?
3.8.
3.8. Very valid.
It's very good, but it's half an episode. If we're being honest, this is half an episode.
Yeah.
Because it's a cliffhanger. So it's a 3.8 because we haven't got the payoff for what's about to happen. But it is very good. It's very solid, and as we can see, we can theorize a lot from that. But the value of an episode allowing us to ask questions but not have answers inherently doesn't create the strength of an episode, because it creates a bunch of holes where we need to do work as the audience to fill it in or wait for the next episode.
Yeah.
But I did really like the animation choices. I really liked the villainy. I really liked everything working. And obviously, Gekomon is still our favorite pick because I liked him being the car Sapatama. And I really liked him crazy taxiing over everyone, which was absolutely funny. Hilarious.
Yeah. So that makes it, for your ranking, I think that makes it like the 4th highest, and in my ranking it is the highest because I really like this episode. But when I wrote my rating, I was like, this is very much in danger of it not having a payoff, and then me saying next week, oh man, I wish I didn't give that a 4.5 because the payoff was so bad. But I'm trying to be optimistic, so I'm like, if the payoff's good, this is a strong episode. But also, 10 episodes in, and I'm already like, I'm gonna have to give like 4.65s, like if we get like a slew of like really good episodes. So that is the danger of me having it that high. But again, I just felt like this had a lot of very effective ways of telling a story, and yeah, I hope it has a good payoff.
Do we have enough money in the budget for an extra decimal point, do you think?
Not an extra decimal, like, oh yeah, you mean like 6.5? I think we'll have to if the show gets better. I was really confused for a second. I was like, what? And then like, yeah, I thought you were like going to make them like IP addresses. Like, I'm going to give this one.
No, you did that last time. You out here doxing someone. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think I just said Cloudflare's DNS last time because I was talking about like.
And then they got hacked, Kobe. It's all your fault. What the heck?
Everyone knows that Cloudflare is 1.1.1.1, and I think the alternate one is like 1.0.0.1 or something.
Okay, well, if the Cloudflare goes down again, ladies and gentlemen, you know it was Kobe's fault.
Yeah, my sincerest apologies. On to Pondering Postmon pattern predictions. I guess we'll just sort of blaze through this because we are almost an hour in. Oopsie daisies. First, we have Goldstar Supreme, who says they don't mind Gekomon not digivolving this far, and they're glad that they're going at their own pace. They are wondering why Tomoro didn't feed like Galgamon himself last episode, but I guess it was because they were waiting on the reveal that his E-Pulse is also just toxic to most Digimon, as it is to Sabatama's. Would have been a real bummer ending if he had done it last time. Yeah, I also don't mind the Gekomon not evolving thing. I think I originally predicted that Gekomon might evolve on episode 10, but I don't see that happening. I feel like, if anything, it's going to be Chirrupmon evolving. But again, I'm not.
I mean, yeah, Chirrupmon's done it longer, so that would make some measure of sense. but I'm not like sitting here going, we're going to see Chiramon's evolution next episode. I'm not that hopeful at all. I'm actually kind of glad we're not getting a bunch of Digivolutions, because it means that when they will happen, they're going to be way more impactful. And I've just been chasing the high of Goku's Ultra Instinct again for so long. I just want it again. And this is going to give it to me, I bet.
Also, something that I had to write in just so I could mention it was, this is another thing that I realized like the day after recording, but when we were talking about Adventure Colon last week, I forgot to mention that Millenniumon is actually in it, like as a bad guy for like a little chunk of the season. The reason why I didn't remember to tell you that was because it is upsettingly like underwhelming as an appearance of Millenniumon in Adventure. Like, it should be like this big moment, and they kind of like started like foreshadowing that it was meant to be this huge moment, and then it was kind of like a wet fart, and he just kind of was in the sky like T-posing, and then got beaten up by Wargreymon.
I think I've seen the stills. I actually think I even made it an emote in the server.
Yeah, I think so.
Where it's just the wicked god descending, and he's just like skibbity toilet from the.
But it is very underwhelming. But that is why I didn't mention it. Very upsetting way to have Millenniumon, who is meant to be like this really cool Digimon, just appear. But yeah, I just thought I'd do
they have enough power to destroy the entirety of the digital world and then some, and it's just
chooses not
loading in.
Jobs to Wargreymon. Anyway. Next we have the Poker Kid, who is very surprised that we can talk about, like, for over an hour about Digimon, and, like, we can go so much longer. Car ride to Sydney, Guz and I were just, like, again, okay, here's the Frontier reference. We were just, like, ragging on Frontier, because one of our friends has played Purple Hybrid.
Shaking my head, by the way.
Yeah, and was like, what's the, like, I was thinking about watching Frontier, because I like Purple Hybrid, and both Guz and I just turned around and went, no! So, yeah. And then
mind you, that's an 8-hour car drive.
But we made it 10, because...
Yeah,
somebody has...
We're professionals.
But also somebody has a bladder in the other car of a toddler and had to stop every, like, hour.
Yeah, we spent like 3-4 days talking about Digimon. So 1 hour or so is that's a drop in the ocean here.
Yeah, absolutely. Guz and I can.
And if we're looking at the episode length of all these things, we've definitely talked for Digimon for more than an hour.
Yeah.
And the current episode length shows YouTube's bar. From the edit, there you go.
But my apologies about the length, but I do try to keep it to keep the tangents to the minimum. But I don't know. Then they said they're not sure about how they feel about BeatBreak yet. They definitely feels more different than they thought it would be. The first 3 episodes were good. The other ones they didn't like as much, and they're getting impatient about Gekomon not evolving. And I mean, I can't relate. I think it's fine at the moment not having him evolve.
Go back and watch the first episode of Cross Wars, and you'll want Gekomon to stay Gekomon for another 50 episodes, man. Trust me, that fixed my need.
Yeah, the thing about Cross Wars is that technically Shoutmon doesn't actually get an evolution until, like, 30 episodes in or something.
I'm sorry, but that motherfucker had, like, 3 forms in 10 seconds.
Yeah, but they're different. It's different.
No, it's not. It's Shoutmon but with stick, and then Shoutmon but bigger with legs. And sometimes a dog's there or something. It's just a lot.
Yeah. Next they say, they also want to say the one thing that they liked about Hitomi in the latest episode is that they felt they set it up to possibly eventually even turn into a villain, and that is fairly interesting. And they say that the series is trying to be different. They like different, but at the same time, they had no problem keeping up with the rapid Digimon introductions from the original series or Cross Wars. So there's your reply there.
It's okay. You must be young of the mind, for mine is too old to withstand the whiplash.
Yeah, it is so many. Then we have Najvalsa, I think. I'm sorry, I botched that. Personally, they say that they are a fan of them not speedrunning through every Digivolution. It makes it interesting and feels special. And yeah, I agree there. Again, insert Cross Wars rant here. Bent Archer says Tomoro's E-Pulse being the plague of electronics, living or otherwise, makes them wonder how Gekomon handles it so well. Plot privilege, I guess. I guess that brings me to questions.
He's born of that e-pulse, so it means that he's obviously inherently immune and feeds off of that e-pulse specifically, or at least prefers that one, because we do know that he at least sampled Kyo's e-pulse in his sleep, non-consensually, which is against the rules, Gekomon. Consent is king.
Bent Archer does bring up something that this episode did say, which is pretty cool. They said they guess they brings into question how Digimon enter the world. Do the eggs serve as gateways to the digital world, or is someone's e-pulse helping birth the Digimon? So we found out that it's the latter. The e-pulse basically gives birth to the Digimon. So that's pretty neat.
I'm assuming, based on part of what happens in the actual introduction, like the intro for the anime. It's the build-up of latent mental energy and emotional energy from people charging their Sapatamas with their e-pulse. When it happens to reach a particular resonance, it then causes the Sapatama to quote-unquote glitch, and then something is born from it that is not just a hologram. It's more because of that latent e-pulse energy.
Next, we have Dash Reinvent, who says that now they think about it, ever since Digimon 02, every Digimon series has a character either loosely related to or manipulated by an antagonist. So it might be either Makoto or Kyo, since we don't know what's going on there in terms of their family situation. I mean, I guess that also happened in this episode. Chirrupmon is being manipulated, so that was kind of like the monkey's paw activating there. Then we have Lazy...
Thank you, brave commoner.
Now we have Lazy Croconaw with the One Piece bingo. Sus government guy is I can't
Perospero?
Perospero,
Oh my god, the lollipop freak.
What was his, laugh again? Perodin. His vocal tick.
Perodin.
That bugged me, and then one day I was just like, I just said it, and like, oh no. Please save me. But thank you so much for the One Piece bingo. I really do enjoy it.
And now everybody at home, take a shot.
Then they say about being too cool for Digimon. I lived mostly because we finished Young Hunters and they hated it. They did not like Young Hunters at the time, which is ironic since they're a Ghost game enjoyer. And since that and me not liking the Latin American dub of Cross Wars, it made them fall out of Digimon for a while. They went back full swing into Digimon when Ghost Game was on episode 5. After I said I wonder if Crunchy has some Digimon shows to watch, and they watched that one instead of Colon. Great decision past them, and yes, totally agree there. It's still a sin to me that they have, at least on their side of the pond, Digimon until Frontier, then is Tri and Atmon onwards. And about the episode, they liked it. It was nice seeing Hitomi and seeing progress in Tomoro's character arc in Year.
Yep. Next, no disagreements, no comments.
Yeah, I agree. Next we have Diego Perez, who says it's becoming a bit boring to them because not that they care about a Digivolution, but every damn time Tomoro and Gekomon are saved like a last minute by the gang, and I agree there. I feel like he's just a damsel in distress. Like he's just continually being rescued. At least it seems...
I'm sorry, is that not what Sasuke did the entire time of Naruto? Like, not Shippuden, Naruto. He was always in trouble, and then everybody came over and were like, what are you doing? And he went, my brother killed my family. And then Naruto did a jujitsu or whatever, and naked chicks appeared sometimes, and then Sakura hit him on the head, and then MacGuffin. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just Sasuke, bro. Same thing.
Yeah, but I mean...
Still hasn't won a fight either.
I hope that we don't get more, of Tomoro just being damsel in distress, because I'd like to see other things happen, but it seems like at least next episode we won't have that, where damsel in distressing Chirrupmon. Next, we have Mystic Digital, who says the episode was honestly underwhelming for them. Reina and Wolfenmon have been completely shafted thus far because of Wolfenmon debuting in episode 1. Yet, Wolfenmon has not won any of the fights. They are sadly a jobber for Gekomon or Murasamemon to win. Digivolution or not, I think the solution was very lame, just more energy, which is done to death trope. And yeah, that is true. Like, it was still, just put more energy into it. But I felt like, personally, it just felt...
More energy, more passion, more energy, more passion. There's another TikTok meme, I'm sorry.
It's okay, I will forgive you. Hayate says that they love the Iron Mouse plush in the background. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's one of yours. Yes, there we are.
It's the little pink one down the bottom there. She's one of my Yoshis.
Very cute. They say that the really prefer that kind of defeat of a Digimon of the week. Like, it's balanced, and it's not just the typical delete strong Digimon, but also kind of like the passive route of Ghost Game. In now episode 9, they wonder if Makoto was once part of the people in Shangri-La. Yes, he was. And they said they enjoy Reina and Kyo's episode, and they hope Makoto does the same. Yeah, I agree. I liked it. And lastly, we have Ignited Quills, who liked the episode. Gekomon not digivolving wasn't an issue to them, since the plot still takes the initiative there, especially with the theming about how society is just unjust, and how everyone relies on the Sabatama, and the Ministry is twisting the words. They also don't like them during the first scene due to how Makoto and Reina reacted. They're clearly the antagonists of now. So yeah, I really did like that last episode, how we're like, oh yeah, the Ministry, they're kind of a little bit suspicious. Something NQR's going on there. And even though Glowing Dawn...
it's not quite right to any of the non-Australian viewers.
Do other countries not say NQR?
I don't believe... We had a whole, like a supermarket chain called NQR. Everybody knew it was not quite right. But I don't think that was international at all.
Yeah, but I feel like I've used NQR before the shopping chain.
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure.
I'm still getting over the fact that Americans don't do the hip hip hooray birthday parties.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, what do you do? What do you just stop singing happy birthday? What do you do there?
Yeah, and then you just applaud.
Oh,
and then people.
Americans need to stop applauding everything. Get up, the plane lands, and all of a sudden everyone's doing this.
Well, that's a crazy reference, Kobe. My God.
What?
Just Americans and planes in the same sentence is just wild.
Yeah, it's not even September anymore. What was I saying? Oh yeah, and also apparently Americans clap after movies.
Yeah, you're supposed to. That's how you show respect to the film.
If someone did that when I'm in a movie theater, I would stand up and slap every single person doing that. Unless people who worked on the film were actually in the room, I don't clap.
That's actually how you're supposed to enjoy a movie. You're not supposed to clap until after the credits.
Oh,
so
I have people
everybody's
clapping.
Names and you pay respect.
I've seen people clapping just before the credits, when the movie
they're
cuts
doing
to
it
black.
Wrong. That's not how you show appreciation in film. You wait till the end of the credits and then you applaud because you're thanking everybody for their efforts in the production. That's that's done.
The only time I want to applaud
happens all the time at Sundance and Cannes and things like that.
I mean, that makes sense because people who worked on the film are probably there.
You still get tryhards everywhere.
Yeah, doesn't matter. But I'll applaud people if they're in the room. But if they're not in the room, I'll just internally appreciate their existence. Anyway, we are.
And then I'll flip off everybody else because I got to assert my male dominance.
Stop enjoying things.
Did you have fun on my watch? Flex's guns is Kobe.
What's wrong with me? Why am I like this? I am an obnoxious human being.
No, you're not. You're a bloody soft sponge of a thing that just likes eating sausage.
Ah, my wrist cracked.
That's unfortunate that it just lived straight up to that cliche, bro.
Which is I'm not going to do it again because that really, I'm not even sure if the crack came up on the microphone. That will be fantastic.
No, I didn't hear it.
Oh, that's a shame. But
I hope it came up on your end because I want you to take this moment to make an edit cut, go back, and then just highlight the crack. Ready?
No.
All right, welcome back.
Yeah, if it's there, I'll probably do something. Anyway, I think that was it for the things. And then they say hearing back Colin, they will say the fights and animation were the best part of it, other than the music. Other than that, what are the worst seasons? And yes, so that's it for Postmon Pat. Let's talk about next week's episode, which we kind of already put in predictions.
Sort of did,
yeah. But next episode is called Digimon BeatBreak. It's episode 10, and it's called A True Friend. We kind of already had predictions throughout this episode because we recorded for a lot longer than usual because I guess
it's a cliffhanger episode that asked a bunch of questions and we were trying our best to answer them, and I definitely hypothesized what the next one could be. But I didn't want to go down too many crazy pathways because then you get expectation versus reality.
Yeah. Do we think it's going to be an evolution episode for Chiromon?
No.
Okay. I think yes. I think it will be an evolution episode.
I think there's going to be something crazy that happens. I don't think, and when I say crazy, I mean unexpected. I think maybe Shademon revolts. I think maybe Shademon has a side Digivolution to like purify themselves or something.
Yeah.
I think something else will happen because we know there's going to be a creative or an attempt at a creative solution. Pandamon's fingers jamming the gun. We all expected someone to compromise the gun for Astamon in some way in that sort of cliffhanger episode. So I'm expecting something similar of nature here, but I think this is probably going to be a lot more of a emotional beatdown kind of thing because we do have Chirapmon stolen and now owned by someone else.
Which is this is pretty cool concept, honestly.
It's crazy. It's definitely different. How that now gets overcome is the next step and the next question.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a hard one to answer, which I look forward to.
I very much look forward to it as well. Again, I hope it pays off. I think it will, hopefully. But it's Digimon. I always try to like put my expectations like kind of lowish, so I'm not like heartbroken. Yeah. But in any case, so that was it for our thoughts on episode 9. I just opened up my notes and it's on the wrong one. Whoopsies. So you can contact me and stay updated. You can leave a comment on this episode on YouTube, join the conversation. And for a full list of ways to find the podcast across the internet, you can check out my link tree, which is linktr.ee/LostinTranslationmon. If you enjoy the podcast videos or anything I post online, show your support by signing up on Patreon and get some cool rewards and help me hit some milestones. And thank you to our current supporters on Patreon, and this is the part I will always botch. Stephen Reeves, who is Wild164 on Archive Our Own, Kadawashi, Niabu, who says you should follow Chisai on Twitter at Chisai236, Lismet, who is Lekmon on Tumblr, Nicholas Magnus, Lucas Jason105, Patrick Jason Shelby, Digital Hazard, who's on Twitch at The Digital Hazard, Tropimon, Vmon Tamer, Kasai, Big Bad Beetleborg, Flavin, Bent Archer, Cappy, Cyber, and Baltic Halberd. Nailed it. You can make a donation on PayPal, which you found linked in the description. It's paypal.me/Airdramon. You can also donate to me on my Ko-fi account, ko-fi.com/Airdra. And thank you so much for listening. Again, thank you so much, Guz, for joining me to talk about the breaking of beats. And
I am so happy to break them beats and to go my own way.
BPM. But... And also, please congratulate Guz for coming 10th at Regionals yesterday.
You spoiled my surprise.
Surprise.
Yes. We went to the Melbourne Regionals together, as was advertised on LostinTranslationmon's Twitter account. Yeah. You can also find me at Guz_substitute there on the tweet law. And yes, we both we beat in the heads of a collective of nerds and did very well for ourselves.
Yeah, I didn't. I did absolutely I did terribly compared to like coming 7th. I dropped all the way to 42nd.
That's still top 50, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean? We had 88 players. That's still top 50%. Well, it was terrible weather and a terrible meta, I'll be honest.
Guys, the meta is terrible. The thing is, if you lost your first round, you were guaranteed to play against Huddy because Huddy was along with Royal Knights, was the gatekeeper deck because they were all in the middle, the low tables. So if you lost any amount of your matches, you were banished to the Huddy realm. So you have to fight back up through a horde of Huddy to place higher, which is kind of annoying.
It was rough, but still finishing top 50%, man. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, but
because it means you beat half the competition there, mate. That's what that means.
I mean, technically, I should have had another draw. We ran out of time on someone taking the longest turn ever, so it ended up being a draw. And I had game, so I'm just sitting there going, if you can't actually win here, bro, please pass turn so I can win. And then overtime was called just as they passed turn, and I was like. Cool.
You should have just flexed on them. Got out your stand and then just start platinum them in the face. You know what I mean?
Just throw my cards at the face and just when they look away.
Judge, he's stalling. I need to kick his ass real quick. I have the kill turn.
Yeah.
Judge, make him pass turn.
Yeah.
Judge,
but
kick him in the knees.
In any case, thank you so much for listening / watching this, and of course, we will see you on the next one. Bye.
See ya.